alaikum, everyone. How are you today? We're going to start our class today about Task 2 Essay Writing in IELTS, both general and academic. This is a very important lesson. It helps you to know how to start your writing and how to plan for writing to come up with a nice essay eventually. Let's get started. Today I chose this task from one of the questions that are available online and offline. You can see here that this is going to be the final task in writing section in IELTS, and it's going to be the last thing that you're going to do during your IELTS test. Now let's go to the writing itself. As you can see here, I have the question. So what would I do in these 5 minutes? Very quickly, I would simply read the question at least 2 times. So read the question 2 times. So let's read it together. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Write about the following topic. Universities should accept equal numbers of male and female students in every subject. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answers and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. This is very important. Okay, so first of all, how many words do I need to write? I always recommend that my students write between 270 up to 300 words. Generally speaking, you're gonna, if you are using, like if you're doing the paper-based test and you don't have time to count your words, generally speaking, you have between 7 and 10 words per line. So know how much your handwriting or how big your handwriting is, and know how many lines. So you just end up by counting the lines and find out how many words you have written. 250 exactly is okay. Less than that is very bad. You're going to lose marks on that. If you write more than that, it's good. Do not exceed the limit of 300 words, because the more you write, the more mistakes you make. All right, so let's get started with this one. So what would I do basically here? The first thing that you have to do is to write how many things you've got to do in this question. So if you look at this question, universities should accept blah, blah, blah. This is the topic. So this is this is almost number 1. And to what extent do you agree or disagree? This is number 2. Of course, I always have to give reasons and examples for my writing. Now, if I go to another question, let's have a look at another question here. So I'm just going to choose, give you another example. Okay, let's look here. This is the question. Okay, so if I look at another question, you should spend about 40 minutes. Let's read this together. I'm going to now number again how many things I should do. Write about the following topic. Young people today are better qualified, blah, blah, blah. So this is number 1. Okay. And let's discuss both these views and give your opinion. This question actually has so many parts. So I'm going to discuss opinion A. I'm going to discuss opinion B. And then I'm going to also have to mention my opinion. All right. So you see here, we have 4 things to do in this question. Now, the question is, why do I write these numbers? Now, believe it or not, when you're doing the test, you are under a lot of pressure, guys. So we will probably, there is a big chance you would forget something. You might forget to mention your opinion at the end. You might forget to discuss opinion B, and so on and so on. Sometimes you will give your opinion when it's not required. So it is very important to mark these things so that you will know what you're going to write about. Now, imagine that I have finished planning and everything. How many paragraphs should I write? Now, the recommended is 5 paragraphs. Again, it is the recommended. What does that mean? It means that this is the suggested one. This is the best one. It doesn't mean that if I write 3 or 4, I'm going to lose marks. It doesn't mean if I write 10, I'm going to lose marks. It's not the case here. But this is the recommended one. Now, why is that? Because simply, I'm going to keep 1 paragraph for my introduction. This is a must. I'm going to write 3 paragraphs here. And they are going to be what? The body. And the last one, which is the 5th paragraph, it's going to be the conclusion. Why do I choose 3 paragraphs for the body? Simply because if I want to convince someone, with an opinion or an idea that I believe in, if I give one reason only, I would not be that convincing. But if I give 3 reasons or 3 major points, I would be very convincing, provided that I support my, opinion with examples, supporting facts, statistics, etc. Okay, now let's imagine that I am sitting in the test now. I have 5 minutes to do my outline. So what would I do? So I don't have to write neatly and nicely, whatever. I just would write 1, which means intro. Okay, and then of course I'm going to write number 2, which means the body. And of course, number 3 is going to be the conclusion. That's it. Now, the good thing is that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the conclusion. What I actually need to spend time on is the introduction and the body. These are what matter. Now, how do I start my writing? In many cases, you're going to find yourself like running out of ideas. I don't know how to start. If I start nicely, it's going to be easy for me, right? So what is the easiest way? So the easiest way, and this is very important, guys, pay attention. The easiest way is to start your writing by paraphrasing. Paraphrasing what? The question itself. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's look at this together. Now, what is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing, actually, it means rewriting, or to say again whatever you heard or whatever you read. So you rewrite it again, reconstruct it, but using totally different words. This is very important. I'm not going to copy every single word. I'm going to try to avoid as much as possible the sentence and the words, the vocabulary that has been used. So I need to rewrite it. I might change, for example, I might put the second part at the beginning and the first part at the end and so on, and use different words to actually write my intro. Now, in introductions in general, I always use something called the funnel approach. Use this way, guys, okay? This is the easiest way. What is a funnel? Now, you know what a funnel is. This is a funnel. You know, the one we use to, pour gas or oil from a big container to a smaller one. Now, why do we call it a funnel approach? Because I start generally and I go to the more specific. And it looks like a funnel. I start broadly, I narrow down, and then I get to the point. If you look actually at the questions and all the IELTS questions, they are the same. They follow the same thing, the funnel approach. How is that? If you look at the question again, they talk about what? Universities should accept equal numbers of male and female students in every subject. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, the thing that they actually need me to talk about is whether I agree or disagree with this. So they start talking in general about education and that they should accept males and females in equal numbers in each subject or topic. And then this is the main point. Do I agree or disagree? So I'm going to start generally by paraphrasing this part. And then I would end by what? Saying whether I agree or disagree. Why is that? I'm going to tell you in a minute. So how do? I now want to paraphrase that. So we will, inshallah, start in the paraphrasing in the next video. I'm going to stop this video here because I don't want to make my videos too long. It's going to be kind of boring. So meanwhile, I want you to try to practice on writing how many parts a question has and how many tasks I'm going to do in this question for the time being. All right. So next time, inshallah, we're going to do the actual paraphrasing. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.